Ascendant's bread and butter rogue mage. Who's going to take down the blind pick?
Honestly, I think this speaks volumes to Method Black's kind of maturity as a tournament team. In the past, you see rogue mages going head-to-head just to see which one is the best. You know, there's a lot of pride on the line. I think Method Black's stepping back, running a composition they think is even better, I think really shows a lot.
Curious to see Ascendant are playing the Dark Archangel, a kind of trademark talent choice from Ratipai, which allows his team to get a huge boost of damage. I can imagine that they would want to go after Chaz. Chaz just gates away from the side of the map that Ratipai just crossed to. He has Earth Shield on himself, so I think he's almost expecting them to go onto him. Raikou can, of course, trinket and Nether Walk, which is the same as Ice Block, basically. Acro's right on top of Chaz. They're really looking to try and catch him out of guard. We see Succubus onto Ratipai to try and deny the opening pressure as Chaz was able to easily sit through that first stun lock, which is going to put Method Black ahead.
Yeah, Raikou taking a little bit of damage right now, but Chaz, like you said, sits the stun lock, going to be completely fine. That was a nice cross CC coming in from Swapsy. Not only did he get the Seduce over on the Ratipai, he got an interrupt on Maro, so very well done by him as Maro takes so much damage. He actually got the Temporal Shield off, but unfortunately had to use the Ice Block while that was up just because of the amount of burst damage that Method Black had.
All right, we see Acro setting up with a kidney shot onto Chaz, but Maro is getting denied on the poly, so Acro is forced to use the blind. A nice fear there was able to be reflected, I suppose. Swapsy getting feared away. Chaz now getting Psychic Screamed. Not really any damage, though, resulting of this. Raikou just kiting. There's no stun lock. He seems to be just perfectly fine. Ratipai getting caught into a cap totem from Chaz. Nice position. Imprisoned on the Trinket during Rapture. They could possibly try to purge this out, but Chaz gets polyed. Raikou could be in trouble. Let's see how he deals with this incoming attack. Acro not stun locking him just yet. He must have pre-blurred and dodged it. Maro now in trouble. Forced into his second Ice Block, and this is looking like a very one-sided match for Method Black.
Yeah, Ascendant hasn't been able to find any momentum in this matchup. Swapsy just shutting down everything they do. Fears coming up from Swapsy. You can see a good positioning as well. Chaz making sure he's very safe. Raikou just basically free to do whatever he wants. Train down Maro, put out a ton of pressure, attacks Ratipai's mana. You actually look, Chaz is a little bit behind on mana. A little swap there over to Chaz. He actually uses the Astral Shift, so that's a key cooldown that Ascendant was able to force out.
All right, Imprison into a Succubus play here. Temp Shield gets purged off. Unfortunately, Succubus was interrupted. They try to fear Ratipai. Ratipai, Trinket, Dark Archangel, swap to Rat Chaz. Tons of damage with a miracle swap. No one cares for the link. No one was there. That's what the Dark Archangel can do. The Maro saved his Icy Veins for that one moment where Chaz is completely isolated, and they just destroyed him in a matter of seconds. This game was over. Method Black were just going to win that at any point, but they had that one miracle opportunity and just snuck away with it.
So I love Ratipai.
That's why I feel like we have enjoyed watching Ratipai for such a long time. He is so good at finding openings, and this squad around him as well, they are all good at just drop of a hat, instantly going on someone and taking them down. Wow. All right, so Zico, I wish we could talk to you for about 4 hours right now, but we're going to be getting back into games very quickly. Let's break down what actually happened in this one, and then we have a big conversation.
This moment right here, do you see that Chaz just used his Astral Shift right there? And that is because Acrolos is training Chaz. The reason why is because Raikou has the Earth Shield, and Raikou gets polymorphed up there by Maro, which is the key play to make here, because Raikou wants to use that darkness and save Chaz. That is the game plan. So they force out Raikou's Trinket by blinding Chaz. Then, of course, Chaz is playing Relentless, so Raikou has to Trinket when Chaz is in that blind. And then they want to find another opportunity to kill Raikou, where they polymorph him, kidney Chaz, get a cheap on Chaz, and then they stun on Raikou and kill him. But the way that Method Black was playing it made it impossible to do that, so they do the other thing, which is train the Shaman, make him switch Earth Shield to himself, but Chaz doesn't fall for the bait. He uses Astral Shift instead. That's why he did kind of a weird Astral Shift like that. And then, of course, as soon as the Astral Shift is over, he still doesn't swap the Earth Shield. Acro is in stealth, just chilling. Maro lands Poly on Raikou, and they pull the trigger with that dark Icy Veins orb, and they take down Chaz clean.
Beautiful, beautiful setup that does come in there, but there are so many things that we need to talk about. Obviously, we're going to see Ascendant pretty much stick to this. We see Method change their composition here to target that. They know that what Ascendant wants to do. We all talked about it on the desk as well. One of the really interesting things to see is the fact that Waz is on the bench, right? We keep talking about how crazy it is that it's always going to be either Raikou or Swapsy on the bench. That seems to be the theme that we've seen with this team, and that is there's so many powerful compositions that come out of this. Now we're starting to see this roster have even more comps, because two of the best players, if you rearrange them together as well, you're going to have some really interesting comps. Why is this the choice that they make, Demon Hunter with the Warlock?
Well, the Warlock, simply put, is very, very difficult to kill for the RMP. They're playing Alliance as well. The Warlock's going to have 2 trinkets. You're going to have that port, long gateway as well. Has a lot of different ways to close that distance. And the Shaman, he's going to be playing Relentless, and that is so he can't get kidney shotted into a ring cast. Swapsy spell-locks the ring, and then Morrow gets that full polymorph anyway. And the Demon Hunter is the tankiest person for an RMP to kill. He has a passive damage reduction for magical spells, 20% damage reduction, as well as very, very short, low CD defensives. The only way that you can kill a Demon Hunter as RMP is to polymorph him, then Chaz dispels it, then you polymorph him again, and then you kidney shot Chaz and switch that polymorph over to Chaz. And at the same time, when that polymorph is being switched, Acro has to stun him. And that is because every Demon Hunter has so many defensives that they're just going to use them as soon as Chaz gets kidneyed. You're going to see Raikou use Blur, Pre-Darkness, I forget the name, but when they fly up in the air as well, they have a lot of different ways to kind of negate those swaps. And also, Raikou can remove crowd control on Chaz if he's not in CC.
I could ask you a million more questions, Zico. Thank you for the analysis, but now we're going to be jumping into game number 2. Which way will it go this time? The gates are now open.
This is the upper bracket final. The winner of this advances to the grand finals for a shot at least second and an opportunity at first. The other team will have to face XRB in the lower bracket, which they do not want to have to do. XRB, I would imagine, would more likely want to face Ascendant, so they're possibly cheering for them. We can see Chaz immediately gating to the opposite side of the map. He has Earth Shield on himself. Maro is setting up, as Zico said, with polymorphs on Raikou. Now they're likely to kidney shot Chaz. Maro's too far away to really do anything, so they're going to blind instead. Kidney shot Raikou, deny any cooldowns preemptively. Swapsy's trying to peel with a triple Infernal and spam Fear, but the smoke bomb denies the peels. Raikou has to get out of that. He's going to use Blur and Netherwalk. I'm not sure if he used both there, so he used both. That's 2 cooldowns and a trinket out of the way. Raikou is very vulnerable. Yeah,
so this is what Zico was talking about. Now Chaz has to make the decision to keep his Earth Shield on Raikou to keep him alive from another swap because he's playing Relentless. So this is where Chaz has to be very safe. You're going to see Acro trying to exploit that the best he can by sitting on Chaz and looking for opportunities to stun him when he doesn't have that Earth Shield, and that's where Ascendant got that all in last game.
That was smart from Acro to kill the Healing Stream totem. Healing Stream actually provides damage reduction to the Shaman, so Acro kills that totem off before looking for a stun lock. Chaz tries to buy more time with a preemptive Earthen Shield totem, but this is the Dark Archangel. Maro, I'm not sure if the orb is hitting him. It must be hitting him, and now it's not. Obviously, Chaz will survive this with Astral Shift. That was the Icy Veins attempt, so now Chaz has survived what he died to in the first game, so the threat is now out of the way for quite some time. That Black now can have free reign.
Yeah, unfortunately for Maro, was not able to get too much damage off in that setup. That was his Icy Veins, that was his orb. Looking for an Evan Bolt now, but he gets interrupted. Nicely done there by Swapsy, just trying to peel. And basically what's going on in this game is Chaz is just trying to create as much space from Maro as possible, making it really hard for him to actually land any sort of significant damage. Now Chaz still just camping on that gateway. It's going to be available for him at any moment. Decides to gate away. Raikou sitting on Maro, keeping him snared, keeping him dotted. Swapsy's keeping him dotted as well. It makes it very difficult for Rattapie and Maro to get off the damage they need. Acro kind of has to overextend himself in this situation as well, and now Raikou can kind of punish that.
Yeah, Rattapie's doing a decent job with his mana, keeping his team going if they can survive to that next Icy Veins in 1:50. Pressure is on, though, as Raikou's targeting down Maro. Temp Shield is over. Doesn't really even do very much. That's going to be an Ice Block, thanks to the great fears from Swapsy on Rattapie. Also got Rattapie's Trinket. It's a bit of an overlap. I don't think the Trinket was necessary by Rattapie. They go for the Miracle Swap again. Dark Archangel, Frozen Orb, but no Icy Veins this time around. Spam Fear defense should be enough. It's not. He chokes. He could have got the link off there at the final second. I can imagine he was thinking, okay, it's not Veins. I'm going to live. This should be fine, but it wasn't enough.
His teammates were there this time. This time he actually...
you should have just dropped the link there.
Swapsy was there. He's like, I was literally going to say, Swapsy's going to say, there's no way you're going to die without me being there for your link this time, but he just doesn't drop it.
Yeah. I mean, Raikou had Darkness as well, if the game was going to extend to the Icy Veins. So, I mean, that was a huge mistake from Method Black.
And that was a throw.
That was... They had this game in the bag for sure. After that first initial failed swap onto Chaz, where Ascendant kind of pulled the trigger too early, that was the game. At this point, you need to reset the game. You need to wait for your blind to come up. You need to blind Chaz. You need to go on Raikou with no Earth Shield and get him to trinket again. And then you need to wait for your Veins and then do the same setup again. You're basically 3 minutes of just being able to do nothing now. And instead, they find a swap onto Chaz where he has Earth Shield as well before the swap. And they still manage to take him down there.
What's so insane about this is now Method Black's in a situation where they're trying to counter comp and losing. So they've lost 2 games in a row to basically both of them being throws, essentially. Like, it felt like they had both those games in the bag. Now, what do? Do you go into an RMP mirror? Do you say, well, this isn't really working. We lost these last 2 games. It's a little awkward. Waz is sitting on the bench looking at his team lose, and are they going to go to the RMP mirror now?
I don't feel like
down 0-2?
I mean, look, let's be
stick with
it. They should. Let's be completely honest. They should have won both games.
I agree.
Like that's kind of what we're saying. Those were throws. The first link, sure. That happens, right? It can't happen again. Otherwise, you lose the series. Like, the first link happens. The second link, you never miss that one. Honestly, right now, Zico, in your mind, is it all coming down to Chaz making 2 mistakes in this series?
Well, in the first game, I don't think Chaz made a big mistake there. I mean, he dropped the Spirit Link. There was just no one there. And Raikou is the only one who's mobile enough to get there fast. And Ascendant made sure that Raikou could not do that because they forced his trinket by going on him, and then they sheeped him when they switched to Chaz, as well as the fact that they feared him on the Dispel. So Raikou couldn't have done anything in that game. But in this second game, this should be 1-1 right now.
Yeah, I honestly think it could have been 2-0 as well, but Ascendant is just finding ways to force Method into bad positions. The first one was just a beautiful play by Ascendant, right? Ultimately,
Swapsy could have still been there. For sure.
Swapsy could have still been there, but Ascendant does find that opening. Beautiful play, beautiful setup. They get the win, right? The second one, it seems like it should have at least gone a little bit longer. It seems like the totem could have come down. The Spirit Link totem could have come down. Oh my goodness, Super T's going into the next one. What do you expect to see?
I think it kind of depends on Waz. I'm not sure who's kind of maybe the coach of the team that called the comps. Maybe Swapsy is. But like I've said, these games have been so one-sided, and it's just coming down to a split second where, oh, no one was next to me when I needed a link. Oh, I thought that I didn't need to do it because the fears were coming in on Maro. There was a stun, but it was 1 second too late. And if you wait even 1 second against Ratapai with Dark Archangel, he's just going to kill you. I really like that Ascendant, even though they're technically being counter-comped, switch up their honor talents. They go for even the slightest possible win condition by getting that boost of damage. Losing Archangel is a really big loss of defense. So they're saying, okay, long game, we can't win. We have to win offense only, and they just take advantage of any mistakes that are made, and they're overcoming the counter comp as a result.
If they brought in Waz, what comp would they even want to play? I mean, the thing is if they mirror, I've said a few times before, and feel free to disagree with me, Elliot. I've said if these teams play Rogue Mage 101 times, it's going all the way. More times than not, it's going to go all the way to that game 101, right? So, you can see Method Black respecting that as well. Playing the mirror and expecting to reverse sweep is such a tall order.
Yeah, there's no question about it. When, like you said, these teams have been so back and forth. That's what we saw 2 weekends ago when these teams went head-to-head, and it ended up being a 4-3 where Ascendant had won the first 3 games, Method Black won the next 3 games, and Ascendant managed to get that last victory. But as Method Black right now, you kind of have to have faith in this composition. There's a reason why they played this, because at worst, like you said, it's a 50-50 as RMP, so this has to be better odds in their mind. But now maybe there's a little bit of a tilt coming in as they did throw away those 2 games, unfortunately. And I think with the way Ascendant's playing it, I don't know how you guys feel about it with the Dark Archangel. Now at Method Black, they can't make any mistakes because Ascendant does have the option to sort of all in them with this Dark Archangel. And in the next 3 games, if it goes out that way, there's a good chance that they can get an all-in kill like that.
Especially just looking at this series, right, Sika? I mean, the first game, you could say, okay, sure, that happens, right? They're even with the respect there, the tiny little fracture in their game plan is the fact that Raikou just isn't there, right? Pushed out a little bit, but they use absolutely everything, and Ascendant is able to turn that into, honestly, a steamroll. They're able to pretty much OTK. They're pretty much able to just Omega smash into Chaz. And you go, sure, that's a mistake that you can afford to have in a series. That's a loss that you can afford to have in a series. That is Ascendant being Ascendant. They are one of the best teams in the world. The second one, though, is straight up. That is a mistake that comes in. Now you've had all the mistakes. You've had all the crazy things that Ascendant can do. You've pretty much had everything that you can afford as Method Black. but you're still up against Ascendant. Are they going to be able to just find one of those scenarios again, even if Method Black plays perfectly? We're about to find out. We may have our second 3-0 of the day here with two of the best teams in the world. Ascendant is on fire.
Yeah, their Rogue Mage Priest is definitely showcased for us here today. Probably one of the best in Europe, if not the best. I mean, Method Black are saying they're too afraid to mirror them by trying to get this counter comp instead, so Ascendant are asserting dominance.
Yeah, that's quite the statement indeed. Ratipai taking damage right away as well, so I like what Raikou does. Yeah, a lot of pressure on him, but another swap over on Taz. The opener gets solo Healthstone. Ascendants, everything basically going to be used. He manages to keep the Astral Shift, but that was so greedy.
All right, Chaz survives at least. Ratipai gets spell locked. Morrow now on the back foot as Raikou unleashes a Fell Barrage. A lot of damage into the Metamorphosis Wombo combo. Ratipai deflects. Rapture activated. Power Word shields are going out. A blind on Chaz as they swap to Raikou. They get a Trinket Nether Walk. Now Chaz is in a position where he's relentless when Raikou has no Trinket. Either target is so vulnerable for the Icy Veins and Dark Archangel in 26 seconds. All Ascendant have to do is buy time for that stun DR. It's almost a free kill. You just poly Raikou, poly to dispel, kidney shot Chaz, determine who has Earth Shield, go on the other guy, and he's going to get deleted. Morrow just needs to stay alive a little longer to that opportunity.
Yeah, Swapsy's going to have to make hero plays here if he wants to see him alive. Kidney shot on Chaz. Do they have the damage to take him down? Raikou on top with the darkness. That was well done, but now they don't have that cooldown. Ascendant slowly whittling away, still has the Icy Veins.
They baited darkness with that swap. They didn't Dark Archangel, they didn't Icy Veins. They've got Method Black on the ropes and playing scared. With no Trinket, Chaz is likely to not be able to Spirit Link the next stun lock. Raikou has no Trinket to peel for him or support him. If they can get a Psychic Scream on Raikou or Polymorph, Chaz is easily going to fall. Morrow still has 2 Ice Blocks. This is looking great for Ascendant. Acro is ready for it. He's all over Chaz. He's just softening him up, getting him ready. That's a pre-Astral Shift because of the pressure. Now they can just wait for that to fade. There's the Poly. Another Poly on the Dispel. The Psychic Scream on the Dispel. Kidney Shot. This should be an easy kill secured, but he's not popping Icy Veins. He pops it at the last second, and it's not enough. He didn't Icy Veins at the start of the burst, and now he's not going to find the kill.
Yeah, Chaz manages to survive that one. Maybe a misplay there coming in from Morrow. Good pressure onto Swapsy as well. It was a Spirit Link totem coming in from Chaz. Morrow still trying to look for some damage here. Raikou on his target, able to breathe again. Ratipai getting a little bit low. There's a smoke bomb though. Kidney shot on Raikou. Chaz is right there. That swap is not going to work. Chaz doing a good job reading the situation.
Ratipai caught into an imprison. Morrow is down on half HP. Swapsy is spamming out Unstable Afflictions. Immediate Ice Block on Raikou's Metamorphosis. Ratipai is still low, getting crowd controlled away by Swapsy. Swapsy trying to hard carry right now. They weathered the storm of the Icy Veins. Now the game should be swinging in their favor, and Swapsy knows that. He's jumping on top of them. Here's some dots for you. Here's some dots for you. He's getting Polymorph though, out of line of sight. Chaz preemptive Earthen Shield Totem. Acro's got so much pressure this game by just training down Chaz and making it difficult to see who he should Earth Shield. Acro looking for a re-stealth to sap off the blind. No, goes for it. They don't care about Earth Shield. They're going to try and crunch through the Earth Shield. Imprison denies damage from Morrow. Triple Chaos Nova from Raikou gets a triple Trinket, which could still result in a kill. Penance from Ratipai squeaks in a kick on the heel, and they do it. They still do it. Ascendant take it 3-0 against Method Black.
Unbelievable. Ascendant played that game phenomenally well, and in the lower bracket XRB cannot be happy about this.
I just want to say, in Morrow's defense there, I think that Morrow and Acro were not on the same page during the Icy Veins all-in on Chaz, because Chaz switched that Earth Shield to himself, and he got kidney shot at, and Raikou's already polymorphed, so Morrow wanted to switch that polymorph, and he wanted to take down Raikou there. Ascendant, well, Ratipai and Acro were definitely not on the same page there, but they do that last go through Earth Shield because Chaz doesn't have Astral Shift and Spirit Link, so and there's no darkness, so that means that if Chaz lives the stun, he's still gonna die afterwards because he has no way of picking himself up anymore. So,
and no gateway.
Beautiful game.
No gateway either.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is a beautiful setup with the blind, Lights Wrath gets spell locked. There's the orb as well, dark. So much damage going through that Earthen totem. Chaz gonna refresh his Earth Shield, but here they have 2 interrupts to deal with still. I mean, Acro gets the kick there, but even if he fakes it, there's still potentially a counter spell on Morrow, and he can still get cleared on the next cast by Ratipai. There's so much disruption left on the side of Ascendant. So let's talk for a second about how XRB feels right now.
Yeah,
That's like everything.
That's what I said. I was like, XRB cannot be happy.
XRB has to be pissed off as hell. Waz is probably screaming somewhere. Waz is literally just screaming. Ascendant is probably the happiest that they've been in gosh knows how long. I mean, we can even jump back to just the beginning of game number 3. I mean, there's literally a moment during the opener where Sid and I just stared at each other and started screaming. Like, literally, just in the opener, even. What an incredible day already. 3-0. And Ascendant just looks absolutely godly here. I do like the comp by Method. I do like the composition, but
they need to practice it a little bit more, I think, but it was solid.
I think they definitely need to practice it a little bit more, but Ascendant just looks nuts today.
The real winner of this series has got to be Reformed, though. They're sitting there just crossing fingers. Like, I hope XRB gets third only so we can get that tiebreaker. And right now it looks like we're going to have Method Black versus XRB. We've seen the Pirate Show.
Could be another 3-0.
That could be another 3-0 for Method Black, and all of a sudden, that's a guaranteed tiebreaker between Reformed and XRB that's going to have to be played for the 4th spot at the summer finals.
Exactly. I mean, right now, you look at this, Method Black versus XRB to the moon. Not only is this next game of the day going to determine who makes it to the grand finals in the final EU Cup, it could very well determine who is going to be headed to that land. XRB to the moon really wants to be able to take this one down, but it is just going to be a tough series for them. This is not the outcome they wanted.
No, there's no question about it. They have to go up against potentially the hardest team in the tournament for them, and they have not had the best success against Waz on that Outlaw Rogue. That's kind of what we talked about, and that's one of the questions we have for XRB. Do they have an answer, finally, for this composition? They haven't in the past, but we'll have to see today.